Hey guys, welcome to Live in Your World, Play in Ours, Episode 1. This show is specifically targeting PlayStation and PlayStation fans. We're going to talk about everything PlayStation related. We'll also talk about the Xbox and stuff like that, because that's PlayStation's main competition. Probably bring up some Nintendo stuff as well, specifically the Wii U, and talk about our favorite games from PlayStation. I was thinking also at the end of the show, we can do like maybe a top 100 PlayStation games, and over time, we can just add them to our favorite games on the list, something like that. Like I know other shows do like top 50. We'll do like a top 100. Hopefully we make it to 100 episodes. That would be pretty cool. If you guys didn't know, we are mainly associated and surrounded by a podcast. That's what we do. It's at GamerCade.podomatic.com. We talk about everything video games. We thought we'd bring you a PlayStation show to give you guys more content. We also plan on doing an Xbox show as well. So if you stop by and you listen to this, you're like, well, I wish these fucks would do an Xbox show. Well, just take it easy and relax. We'll get that going. Really, I'm your host, Chris Gillett here. I have Dallas with me. I have Garth with me today. We're going to be talking about PlayStation, like I said. So to kick this off, guys, okay, I know Dallas has a PS3, and he played a lot of PS2. He doesn't have a PS4 yet, but he plans on getting one. Yeah. So why? I know you guys like PlayStation. You're not specifically just about PlayStation, neither am I. But why do you guys enjoy PlayStation? And when was the first year, or what was the first console you guys started on?
For like PlayStation?
Yeah, not just in general, but PlayStation console.
Most definitely the first PlayStation console was the very first one, the first PlayStation.
Same here, PS1.
PS1. What are your favorite games from that generation?
Or
would you like, like if you're younger and stuff and you kind of don't remember, you just dabbed at maybe a couple games?
I remember games, man. Trust me. Metal Gear Solid, the first one. Gex, Cool Borders. Those are like Cool Borders. I played a lot of.
Cool Borders 2 and 3 or Cool
3.
Borders,
I remember renting that game.
Cool Borders 4. I had it was awesome.
Staying up all night playing Cool Borders stuff.
Oh yeah.
The first time I ever played Metal Gear Solid, it was before it came out. It was the Pizza Hut demo.
Yeah,
that was so crazy. I thought it's like a first video game movie experience. The way the intro was and everything, and then Snake was like, "Huh? A surveillance camera?"
A surveillance camera?
Yeah. Oh man, those are good times. Good times. I remember having like Jet Moto and some other games. I mean, Jet Moto was pretty cool. I had like a rally championship
Jet
game.
Moto is really good. It doesn't really hold up today now, because I went back to it as of late. It just doesn't hold up. No,
they're pretty bad. And the textures on the PlayStation, like, they weren't obviously good as 64 because it was like 32 bits, and 64 obviously had 64 bits. And so the edges, the walls and stuff, like I remember playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and you're skating towards a wall, and the wall would start like bending and moving, like textures are trying to render, and it was pretty bad.
And the frame rate was horrible too.
Yeah, a lot of the frame rates were pretty horrible.
You know what holds up though? Sledstorm. That's my favorite.
Sledstorm?
Racing game on PS1.
I have decent memories. Not too fond, but playing that game. I never really owned it. I remember playing with friends and stuff, but never really owned that game. You guys have a specific favorite game? Since we're on the PlayStation 1, I think this episode will kind of focus on that, and the next episode will move up along the console generations of PlayStation. So do you guys have any fond memories of PlayStation?
I didn't really.
That first game?
I didn't really have like a lot of, hardcore type games, just like regular basic, like I had played a lot of SmackDown, but I never like had like those RPGs or anything like that. My first turn-based game that I played on there was the Legend of Dragoon.
I love that game.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite RPG.
I remember getting to the second disc and not playing anymore. I played with a few cousins of mine.
4 discs to go through.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy. Final Fantasy VII was a huge how do you say it, like a milestone in my like gaming and memories. I remember staying up 3 days straight playing that game, just leveling up and everything, and then because you get to certain points in that game when you fight enemies, and it was kind of like that first experience, like, okay, why can't we beat this enemy? And then you're kind of like learning as you go. You're like, oh, we got to get stronger and level up, and so we would do that and spend so much time like grinding and whatnot, and those experiences were like the best. I don't have them like I used to, especially like with friends. There would always be a friend next to you most of the time playing video games, and it's not like that really anymore. It's kind of like, let me get online and see what my buddies are doing.
PlayStation kind of made Final Fantasy popular because the ones that everybody played was 3 on SNES was also 6. It was actually 6 because in Japan it came out with 6 other. So 6 was actually, the first one that probably Americans know, but 7 really kind of made it mainstream.
Right. Yep. That's true. Also, what was I gonna say? It's funny how Nintendo had like Final Fantasy and stuff back in the day, and then like the tides changed. It's like they wanted to go towards the disc-based stuff, and they wanted to stay in cartridges.
Like
so
the 3D aspect of it and making it. The
and it just wasn't. They wanted to go with the cartridges, and Square did not want that at all. So it's crazy how they went for the something.
Which 8 and 9's graphics looked even better than they did in 7's.
Yes, I really enjoyed 7 though. Barrett, Cloud. It was a good time, and Sephiroth.
Because really, when you compare,
still lives up to.
Because really, when you compare 7 and 8, it's really night and day. Really, like 7 looks terrible compared to 8.
Yes.
Because 8 looked like crazy. Because like the character models, they looked a lot, better.
Yeah.
You got to give it to Square. They've always been ahead of the curve when it comes to graphics and their character models. They've always been like way advanced than everyone else.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They put so much detail. It's just beautiful to look at.
Super, super beautiful. Can you guys see the trailer I have here?
I don't think I can.
Oh, wow. I'm going to try it and check it out. So, let me see and go back here. Yeah, I like this little feature they have on here. This is actually pretty cool.
I see your stuff. I seen it, but I didn't.
Really? Huh. It just went away. I might have to do it again.
I think I had to like click on your name to get it to come up.
Here, let's see. Now, can you see it?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
Was it still there?
Yeah.
It is there.
Ah, okay. I didn't know. I just so everybody else can see it as well. So it's gonna take a second and load, but
I see it.
I don't know how the Google Hangouts work and if it's buffery or what, but anyways, some of your favorite games and stuff, like on the PlayStation 1, were they mainly RPGs, or did you guys like enjoy the platformers and stuff? Like Crash Bandicoot was huge for me. Like I didn't ever finish any of those games, but I remember playing the shit out of them. Like, over and over, and there was a few times where I didn't have a memory card. Like not having a memory card right away sucked so bad. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have one either.
Yeah, right away. So
I was mainly
moving on.
More familiar with the platformers.
Yeah, platformers.
Yeah, I played a lot of Crash Bandicoot and Croc, Medieval. Played a lot of that on PlayStation.
Nice. Yeah, Croc wasn't bad.
Also, like, what I would love to have a remaster of, just like coming from the old PlayStation games, I would love another Dino Crisis. I would really, really love to see a new one.
Oh, Dino Crisis, hell yeah! Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that they made 3 altogether, which I believe they're on the classics on PS3. Those games are so good.
Oh yeah.
So, real quick, change up subjects. You guys can see what I'm showing. This article of Phil Spencer admits PS4 has a huge lead over Xbox One. Isn't sure if Microsoft can catch up. There was actually an update to this article where Phil was like touching on a few things. saying like, yeah, I did say that, but that doesn't mean we're not going to try and make Xbox the best platform we could possibly have, which I totally agree with him. I think Phil Spencer he's doing a great job. I think, Dallas, you said you don't really care for Phil. Was that you?
Yeah, that was me. I don't know. It just seems like just because I read about Final Fantasy 14, people want it to come to Xbox, but he pretty much said that just because he didn't care for the game,
right,
that it's not going to come to that console.
Yeah, and it is a shame that they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like to do the sharing console thing. So. Yeah,
like PS4 players play with the Xbox One, which is kind of a shame. I mean, that does suck. Like in the article they say, like, PS4 has 25.3 million sold as of, that's the last time they said anything about sales anyways. And Xbox was at 11 or 11.5 or something like that, which actually is a crazy lead. But that doesn't mean they can't catch up. What are you guys' thoughts on Phil saying that? Do you think Xbox can make a leap? I don't know where the sales are at now, so I don't know if it's even bigger. I don't know how much Xbox has sold. And I know in Japan and China, Sony's kind of done decently well, and Xbox, they really don't have the market in Japan, which is a huge shame, because I have to admit that they're missing out on a lot of good games and exclusives.
Microsoft, they have an advantage probably in America. They don't have an advantage in Europe, China, or Japan. They don't have that, so I don't see them catching up. And not to mention that the Gran Turismo hasn't even come out yet. You know how many units PS4 is going to sell when that game comes out? Because there's a lot. That's PlayStation's biggest selling franchise, and when that comes out, just that game, that PS4 is just going to even sell better than it's supposed to be selling. So I don't see it ever like them.
That's true, because it's crazy how a racing game, is the biggest selling.
So it's like it's not really expected for that game,
Right, and bring up a statistic. This could affect Gran Turismo if this statistic is true, but it just sounds a little odd to me. That 80% of the PlayStation owners and users now have not played an Uncharted game. So that being said, the Nathan Drake collection is out now.
Yeah.
So that would mean like 20 of us that were PlayStation fans. You think the majority of the PlayStation fans that bought PlayStation Day 1 were the hardcore fans, like myself.
Killzone. Remember last gen, we were just like, man, why don't these people get these 360 guys get PS3s? They have great games. We kept telling everybody, oh man, all these exclusives that PlayStation has. It looks like these people are finally starting to see it and finally get to play Uncharted and everything. It's really awesome. Finally they're playing some of these awesome games that PS3 had.
Yeah. I mean, it is going to be nice for them to experience. Like I'm excited for Julie to try it, 'cause she said she was going to get it, and I get excited and stuff like that. Xbox players get excited for us to go over there, like people to finally, experience Gears of War. There's PlayStation guys that have bought, a PlayStation this generation. Now they get to experience Gears Remastered, the Ultimate Edition or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I get excited for him, because me and you played co-op through the first Gears. I can remember beating that shit together at my house and all that. Those are good times. So I feel the same about both. I think Xbox can catch up, especially with the exclusive lineup they have, especially this holiday. They dominate in that category. But the only thing is after spring, I don't know what Microsoft is really going to have, but Sony has that big first party advantage. So it kind of scares me in thinking about the future, when Sucker Punch comes out with the new IP they're working on. You got Guerrilla Games making Horizon Zero Dawn, which looks fucking beautiful.
It does. It looks really good.
Yeah, and then you got Uncharted 4 next year, and then that's the last Uncharted. So I don't even know what the other Naughty Dog team is working on. So that kind of freaks me out too.
Because Last of Us 2. So
and that would be insane. So, and that's going to be built from the ground up, because it's on a new console. So I don't know. It's crazy.
If Halo doesn't sell, or if Halo doesn't win over Xbox Ones in the months to come, they'll never catch up because Xbox Halo's that's their biggest franchise.
That's their game. Yeah,
that's their game.
And I'm so excited for Halo 5.
Xbox people have told me I only have an Xbox because of Halo. So if Halo does not sell Xbox Ones, they'll never catch up.
I will be worried myself because I'm an Xbox One owner, and this generation of Xbox reminds me of the original Xbox. I don't know if you feel that way, Dallas, but it feels that way to me. It doesn't feel like the 360.
I think it's a hybrid of both.
Right.
Even though I haven't had one yet. But
right. I honestly think the Xbox One is a super underrated console. It's capable of a lot. The games are great. And I just wish I had more time to play my games I have. I have tons of them that are exclusive already.
To me personally, I think they focus too much on making it an entertainment system rather than a console or just a console.
You can see that with the interface.
Yeah, like they really need to get some studios on board, besides, because like Crystal Dynamics, that Tomb Raider game looks awesome, but it's only going to be, just there for temporary.
And then you got also, Tomb Raider coming out. You'll have the Ultimate Edition or whatever they call it. That'll be like a day one thing for PlayStation, which is kind of a plus in a way. You don't have to wait for all that content right away. Moving away, talking about Xbox real quick, I wanted to talk about how, like, Sony, okay, PSN is kind of like, it's a good service, but it's not the best. It has its hiccups, it has its issues, and Sony isn't looking forward to doing, like, backwards compatibility. Yeah, we see, like, PS2 stuff showing up online, like, oh, it's going to come to the PlayStation Store. That's cool, but think about all the money. Sony spent, like, what was it, like, almost $1 billion on Gaikai, the streaming service, which is known now as PlayStation Now, but nobody really uses it, which is crazy because it's a great service. As long as you have a decent internet connection, you're going to be able to play the games. But I think it's a really good answer to backwards compatibility. But I don't know. Now that I kind of think about it, and Sony did purchase it, I thought it was a big advantage. But now I'm just kind of like, I don't ever see anybody using it really, unless they're using it for a trial.
I think they kind of wasted their money. I think they should have invested that money that they put in Gaikai and the same money that Microsoft invested for the backwards compatibility.
Yeah, but it's not only that too, and like some people, like they like the idea of just knowing that they can play an older title rather than actually playing it. That's kind of how I was. Rare Replay. I'm glad I have it, but I haven't really played it much.
Right. I'm glad I have it too.
You get the best of both worlds when you're not streaming it, because one, the graphics aren't going to look as great as the actual, console version because you're streaming it, and it may not be always precise when it might have input lag here and there.
Right. Yeah, like on Xbox One, it does suck that I know we keep bringing up Xbox. That's fine because it's competition, but the frame rate isn't as good sometimes with the backwards compatibility. It'll drop below the 30 frames that it's supposed to stay steady at, or slightly above 30. But I think they'll work out the kinks, and I think they'll be good. I just can't wait because I just bought all the Skate games, Skate 1, 2, and 3 for like $24 on Xbox 360. So if they do make those compatible, I can just, download them on my Xbox One, which is great. So that being said, I think that Sony is going to have a hard time if they just like say, you know what, PlayStation Now didn't work. Yeah, we blew a fuck ton of money on this technology, which they could use it for something else. Or they can still have PlayStation Now and backwards compatibility, make kind of like a variety of ways. Do you want to rent it and stream it, or do you want to buy it, download it, or do you have the game and you can pop it in your PS4 if they do decide to go that route? But
it wouldn't surprise me if a year from now we're going to see, because look, PS3s are eventually going to be not manufactured anymore. And
right.
People are
but look how long the PS2 went on for. You know what I mean? Like, no, I know,
but hear me out. People, they're obviously, it's obviously going to be coming to an end. One of these days, it may be 3 years from now, 4 years from now. Who knows? But I think that once that happens, Sony might do something like, hey, since you can't buy any more PS3s, let's just make it where you could download your PS3 games over to your PS4. Like, I think midway through, maybe 2 years from now, 3 years from now, maybe even 2 years, next year from now, we might hear like some announcement where like they drop the whole Gaikai and they move on to the what Xbox is going to do. Even though they haven't said that they don't plan on doing that, they probably deep down inside are saying, hey, let's do something like this. It'll be a lot better.
Right. And since we're like still on the topic of, that was really good, by the way, Garth. I think you made a good point. But I honestly think that for Xbox to really catch up, Sony's going to have to fuck something up. I mean, Sony's always known for doing one little thing, and that could happen. Like, people that are leaning could misfire, like Xbox 360 had the whole Red Ring of Death issue, and that was really, really bad. And I'm sure a lot of people got pissed off and maybe came over to PlayStation or whatever, or maybe even went the Wii route. I don't know. I don't know why I say that, but
Sony has a huge advantage when it comes to the whole backwards compatibility thing. If you want to talk about it, because they have 3 other consoles to do.
Oh yeah. If they did do that.
Yeah.
But like you said, if they did drop the Gaikai service, but I don't think they will because they spend all that money. But imagine if they
at least have to give it a chance.
Right. If they can't do it technologically, like emulate PS1, PS2, or PS3 games, they can always add them to download, in the store, which would mean you would have to buy them again. But or maybe they're like, or you can stream it. But either way, you're gonna have to pay for it. That's another thing. Is like PlayStation Now is kind of too expensive. Like 3 months for like $24 or something.
It's not worth.
And then $40. No, for 1 month it's $20.
Especially when they're old games. This isn't like new games that just came out. You're playing games that like came out 5, 4,
or 6 years ago.
Six years ago.
Maybe they should do something with PlayStation Plus, like make it a service. Like if you have PlayStation,
that's what we said. Yeah,
either cheaper.
But I don't know. They don't want to listen to us. For some reason, Sony's like, let's make money off of this, and they're just struggling to do it, and it's not working.
That's a really good idea. PlayStation Plus members used to give us PS1 games. I think that if for PlayStation, I said this before, that I think for PlayStation Plus members, yes, we get 6 games a month, which is great, but I think that they could give us 2 extra, a PS2 game and a PS1 game. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, so will I. All right. Sony, I don't know. If you're listening or somebody listens, implement the PlayStation Now into the PlayStation Plus, like subscription-wise, or give us to it for free a month. I mean, if people are paying a year like $50 for PlayStation Plus or $9.99 a month, if they want to go that route, then I think that should cover the cost for the subscription. I think that should be good enough. It might get so bad that they might have to do that. So I can see that happening.
I mean, that would be their way with competing with Xbox, since Xbox, if you have either digital download or the game hard copy, all you have to do is either go to your install list, it'll be there, or put the disc in and install it there, and you'll have it. You won't have to pay for your games twice.
Yep, and that's why I'm happy I bought Witcher 2 on XBLA, because it's coming. It's one of the first games, and I quit playing it because of that. So I was like, you know what? As soon as it comes on Xbox One, I'm just going to pop it in and just play it on there. I don't know, it's just in my living room, and the 360 is in my bedroom, and I want to play in the living room and be a little more comfy than sitting on my bed or a chair. So it's pretty exciting for me. Let's shift gears, guys, real quick before we wrap this thing up. Real quick, PlayStation VR hits at the beginning of next year, and Paris Games Week is coming up. It's the first of that. This is the first Paris Games Week ever. So Sony skipped, what was it, PAX? Was it PAX Prime? They skipped the Europe event. I don't know why I had a brain fart just now. The one that was just happening. Not TGS, because
wait, there is actually one coming up. I'm thinking of, that might have been PAX Prime you were referring to.
But they had a heavy presence at TGS, which was pretty nice. But this Paris Games Week, I know it's rumored for like Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, and they just had a price drop of $349, which is going to be huge for the holidays. So that's going to be like crazy competition between PlayStation and Xbox. But the point I'm getting to is like, are you guys think they're gonna announce the official price for the VR? Are you guys excited for that at all? If there is games for it that excite you, for me recently, like in the past 2 months, I've been kind of on the edge, but some of the stuff I've seen and looking forward to, and hearing about the rumors of No Man's Sky being a launch title for PlayStation VR,
that would be cool.
And it's like apparently like a $299 to $300 price range, which I don't think is too bad for something like that.
For the VR,
especially
really?
yeah. If I can watch like movies and play games on it, because that would be cool to have like a theater experience, like a ride in your eyeballs kind of thing. So yeah, and it runs at like most games on there will be running at 120 to 150 frames per second.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Huh. So are you guys excited for that, or do you guys think it'll be a disaster and that will be what fucks Sony up and that big disaster thing?
I mean, if they finally fixed over the motion sickness, I'm looking forward to it.
What gimmick?
Yeah, everybody's different on that.
What gimmick has Sony came out that was a big success?
Besides their own console?
besides their own console. Well, I don't consider that.
Well, okay, you got to also think about it. Like, I'm happy they came out with the PlayStation Move. For one, the technology was there. Two,
but
the PS3 just couldn't handle it.
But it didn't sell.
Yeah.
No one bought it, unfortunately.
But Sony doesn't have to make a controller now for the PlayStation VR. That is the controller that is compatible with it. And thankfully, I have two of them sitting around that I could use. So if there's like No Man's Sky or whatever, I have two of the the PlayStation Move and the analog one. So now it would just be a compatible thing. So that's cool. Hopefully they have like some kind of bundle that's pretty cheap. But you're right though, Garth. They haven't made any kind of gimmick that's really sold.
Yeah, or not like, just Sony in general.
Well.
Not just Sony in general, but what in gaming history has there ever been a gimmick besides a gaming console that was a success? Success. Really, the only thing that has been a success was the Nintendo DS and 3DS.
Right. Like the Wii, you really can't count that, I guess. Like you can't really count the Wii because that is the console, that is the peripheral, the motion.
Yeah.
So that's all in one type of thing. So.
Yeah, but like a gimmick that was from a side note, like that was an add-on or something like that. I just don't see it succeeding at all. I don't think gamers want like something like that. I just think that they want something that's just normal, just play their games on a normal TV. I like the 150 frames a second. I just don't think that,
right.
And the price too. The price is gonna drift people away.
I don't know.
It may be.
I don't know. Honestly, like if there's games that are coming out for it and there's launch titles that are gonna be decent, especially if it's like No Man's Sky and some other things, $299 for me for a VR headset is pretty cheap. Especially doing what
I thought it would be.
And it's an OLED screen, which is on the Vita, which is one of the best screens I've ever played a video game on. So I can only imagine like playing Rigs, which is a mech online multiplayer shooter only for VR, and I can see myself getting really into that with like the PlayStation Move controllers in my hand, moving my head left and right. And a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm not interested in VR. But you really can't say that, because the only way you can experience VR is actually having it on your head and playing it. You can watch other people do it, but you can't ever really experience for yourself or say anything until you play it. So me being that curious, me being as dumb as I am too, I will probably buy it on day one. Just to watch
they probably they have already done something better than Nintendo did. They have a head strap for this thing, unlike the virtual.
And some people say like the motion sickness and all that, but it's just like your own experience,
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
If
you buy this thing and be like, oh man, I have motion sickness, like it doesn't look good in terms of that,
Well, yeah, everybody has a different experience, though. It's not the same for everyone. But if you do have that,
I think it would hurt
I
think it would hurt my eyes if I was on that too, because you're so close to a screen.
Well, I don't know. Like, I really haven't tried it for myself, so I can't say. But the gimmick is definitely catching up to me. I'm getting more excited, but I think it's gonna be a heavy presentation at Paris Games Week. I think they're going to announce a price. I think they're going to announce a date, because they did say early next year. And that's why I think No Man's Sky has not had a release date, which is really weird because it's been on public television. It's been at E3, and they're still like.
It looks done.
Yeah, it does look completely done. And if they announce, I mean, even if it does come out for PS4, which is fine, but if I do get a PlayStation, VR, I was gonna say PlayStation Project Morpheus. If I do get a PlayStation VR,
imagine
that's
if they
just a
kept that
bonus for
name,
me.
Project Morpheus. People would be like, "What the hell is that?" The casual audience. And you know what? Maybe like the casual audience still don't even know what VR means. They should just call it, PlayStation in your face, like I said in the podcast episode that one time. PlayStation in your face.
PlayStation in your face, and then like you have a seizure. I'm just kidding.
I was reading an article too that they were talking about bringing Soma to VR too.
Oh my god!
Which would
what we need to do? Like me and you need to do a let's play or something with Soma.
I'm most definitely down.
Because I've been wanting to play that game but I haven't bought it because I'm like, you know what, that would be like the perfect game to stream and do a let's play. So
that game looks awesome.
Yeah. Real quick, let's wrap this up so it's not an all-nighter thing and people don't walk away from the entire episode because it's too long. All right. I'm going to actually ask Dallas. We're going to do a top 100 PlayStation games of all time. We'll probably do the best top 100 PlayStation game or Xbox games for the Xbox show as well here on GamerCade. But I'm going to ask Dallas, since it is October and horror is in the air and Halloween is right around the corner, what is your favorite horror game on the PlayStation console, PlayStation 2, PS3, or PS4? Doesn't matter. Even if you've seen it and you're like, that looks great, that's probably on the top list. What would you like to add to the top 100 games? And you have to pick a horror game since it's October.
Most definitely. That's easy for me, and I'm going with Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2. Okay.
I love Silent Hill 2.
That was such a good game. And the entire story and everything in that game was completely fucked up. Like, yeah. It's kind of a lesson in a way, too. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, the game is kind of old now to where, I mean, you can just give out spoilers and stuff. What was your favorite part about the entire game? Or, like, the entire franchise, if you want to say?
Pretty much just with, like, the main character, whose name is James, just, like, how he seemed, like, so innocent with, like, how he keeps getting letters from, like, his wife, and he's just trying to, like, find her and everything, and just breaking through his story and everything like that, figuring out what really happened. And then just getting the random endings that you could get, like the dog in a spaceship. I was like, what the hell is this? That confused the hell out of me, man.
Oh yeah, that was really weird. I didn't get that ending. I got the ending where it he puts the videotape in and everything, and it shows him killing her at the end. I was just like, and it was funny. I never beat it on PS2, but I beat the remaster on PS3. And I was just like, what? Oh my god. Like, I loved that game anyways, but never finished it. So I went ahead and went ahead and finished it. And I was just like, holy shit. And Veronica was right there next to me, and she was like, what? She loves the Silent Hill universe, but never really played them, and she likes watching me play it. But that's definitely a game that needs to go on the top 100 we have here on GamerCade. So, Garth, I don't know why you haven't ever played Silent Hill 2, or even the Silent Hill in general.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of that style of gameplay where you gotta walk. You don't have a weapon. You can walk past literally every enemy in the game.
Right.
And the mechanics are really clunky and don't really hold up.
Yeah, they definitely don't hold up.
There's a dog.
I don't know if you can best ending ever. It really shouldn't be a question.
Yeah, look at that dog with look at his face.
So random, man.
Oh no. It is so random that they even added that ending. The horror, the fucking atmosphere in that game. Even Silent Hill 1.
Pyramid Head for the first time, dude, is just like
Pyramid Head is like the best horror villain. Like, or
I love the greedy. I love the art, the atmosphere of Silent Hill. It captures that really well. Just it needs like more of a remake, I guess you could say, but that's never gonna happen now because
it might. It could still.
I like this right here, where there's so many filthy toilets in horror games. Everybody's shitting blood out.
There's a lot of filthy toilets in the Fallout games too.
Oh,
I just thought I'd throw that in there because it's not a horror game, but
it's
I
not.
just figured, because I like Fallout, I had to throw that in there.
People have to take shit, Sponge, and in the apocalypse and all that shit. So.
Kind of like when you mentioned remakes, I wouldn't mind seeing another The Suffering.
Oh man, those.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They're finishes either, but they were fun games. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say that game. If you,
I gotta fix those up on the original Xbox. So definitely got to do that.
Because those are superior versions.
Graphically, yeah. All right, guys. This has been the first ever and the last ever episode 1. Live in our world, play in ours. PlayStation, little exclusive thing we got here on GamerCade for you guys. Plan on doing an Xbox one as well. Don't know what to call yet. Don't know who's going to be on it. But I thank you, Garth. Thank you, Dallas, for both being here. I appreciate it. I had fun. I don't know. Any last words you guys want to say before we get off of this?
My last words is next episode. I promise to be a little bit more positive because I know as I was towards the negative side of PlayStation, I know if you're a PlayStation fan and this is called PlayStation Live in your world, play in ours.
Live in our world,
and I'm bashing the play. It's not that I'm bashing it. It's just I disagree with some of the things, which I think
that's every company.
Which I think that every fanboy, including Pyro himself, can agree that deep down inside that.
Right there.
It's
nice. Well, hopefully he listens to this and he can get a few words of inspiration from Garth.
But definitely, right. Definitely, guys, if you let us know that if you're into that whole Project Orpheus virtual reality crap stuff going on.
Definitely. Leave a comment below. Also, since we're going to sign off, or Les Dallas, if you have any last words about anything, then...
Nah, you go ahead, man.
Okay, we're going to sign off, and like I said, we have a video game podcast at GamerCade.podomatic.com, so if you guys want to go and check that out, we have episodes up there. We should have one coming up this weekend, every Saturday evening. Look forward to downloading that. Make sure you subscribe. We're also on iTunes. Everywhere you can find the podcast, you can find us, so make sure you do so. Also, we have a Facebook group. You can go to facebook.com/groups/GamerCade. Go become a member. I'll preview as soon as possible, or one of these guys or another admin will preview. There's always a conversation going on over there, especially people posting pictures of Call of Duty starter packs.
Starter packs.
But anyways, that's it for me. If you guys want to also follow us on Twitter, we have a bunch of gaming news and stuff posted up there. It's GamerCade1986, so go follow us over there. Garth, where can people game with you, and where can they follow you at and all that good stuff?
SpongeBelt for Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch for SpongeBelt _ PSN is also SpongeBelt. So
SpongeBelt everywhere besides Twitch. It's SpongeBelt _
Pretty much.
What about you, Dallas? Where can people game with you?
Even Snapchat.
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at YokuHXE, and you can find me on Xbox Live and PSN at Yokozuna666.
Classic. All right. Also, if you want to game with me on PSN, it's XKillXZoneX. Also, if you want to come and see if I am streaming on my Twitch, it's the XKillXZoneX. And on YouTube Gaming for now on, which I probably will choose that platform more often because it goes straight to our YouTube channel. It's GamerCade in 1986. Go to our YouTube channel, GamerCade 1986. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like button, all that good stuff. And we appreciate you guys watching. Also, before I forget, Xbox, if you want to add me, it's Deadly Hellcast. So, until next time, guys, we appreciate you stopping by on episode 1. Look forward to future episodes and Xbox shows as well. Game on.